St. Joseph Cathedral, in collaboration with Father Saturnino Urius University, presents Tuesdays with San Jose, a weekly online program where we explore everything under the sun, from everyday concerns to meaningful talking points. Join us as we share stories and reflections around and within our community. No matter who you are or where you come from, there's something here for you, where everything's spoken for. And here are your hosts.
Maayong hapon sa inyo tanan. You know, guys, there is a question that is often asked these days, no? May forever pa ba? Uso pa ba yun? May ganun pa ba? Especially in today's day and age. That's why today we're very excited with the guests that we have because I think you guys are gonna think, yes, may forever pa talaga. It is possible. So we are excited to have them here with us this afternoon. Father Glenn?
That's right, Shaila. I think our guest this afternoon will make us believe that there is truly forever amid the blessing and challenges of married life. Truly, they are one of SJCDS's hashtag couple goals. So let's ask, we'll learn more how do they keep the magic of love alive and how to build and design a family that is centered on God, a relationship that is stronger throughout the years. So we'll find out this afternoon and more stories.
Yes. So good afternoon, folks. If you guys are joining us, you know, from Butuan, from other cities, please let us know in the comment section. We would love to say hello to you. And if you're watching us for the first time, please feel free to share this link to your friends. If you're watching us via Facebook, via YouTube, go ahead and click the link and share that with your friends.
Yes, so welcome to our Tuesdays with San Jose, episode 11.
11.
Yes,
Ayan,
amazing.
si Kurt Steve, napakabilis. Good day po, share lang po. Thank you and God bless. Kurt, please watch out for our topic kasi if you have questions for our guests about marriage, about relationships, this is the perfect time for you to tune in and ask your questions later on.
Tama nga. I think everyone can relate with this and we have so many love stories and stories of life that we can share. And for those who are interested or who are in love, so this episode is for you, diba? Especially for our young people and our married couples who are really trying to make their married life become more meaningful each day.
Yes. Love, alam mo, Father Glenn, love stories are like, they're always the most interesting thing. Like, people say, love. Pero hindi, pag may telenovela, pag may movie, highest rating pa rin ng love story. So, no matter how jaded some people think they are about love, pero when the topic is love, they're right there. So, please tune in, guys.
And I think this is more meaningful because this is a real love story. Real love story from real couple who have gone many things in life. So, marami tayong matututunan this afternoon. Okay, so shout out pala. Who would like you to shout out? Who would you like to shout out, Shai?
Shout out sa biggest fan ko, my husband, who promised to watch this show. So thank you so much to
Very supportive talaga, Jimbo. Hello, Jimbo. Shout out din sa ating mga parishioners sa St. Joseph Cathedral Diocesan Shrine for our viewers who have been with us since day one until now. So, good afternoon sa inyong tanan. Shout out po sa atong partners here in FSUU.
Yes.
Shout out to Father Kits watching from
Cagayan de Oro, who is always here. Thank you so much, Father Kits. We're excited that you actually invited our guests today.
Yeah.
So we look forward to hearing their stories.
So shout out sa mga nagpaabot kin sa atong guest karon. You will know in a few moments.
For now, let's watch this video that we prepared for you folks.
you have it. Our hashtag couple goals
Couple
for this
goals.
afternoon. So before we introduce our guest, shout out to our sponsor for this afternoon's episode. We would like to thank Kimson Commercial. So thank you,
Thank
Ti
you.
Bernadette Chu, Ti Helen Chu, and the Chu sisters and Chu family. Salamat sa inyong makananayon ng suporta alang sa atong Tuesdays with San Jose.
Yes. So ayan, we're gonna introduce our
kinsa
guests.
man ni sila.
Kinsa man sila. So we see them, they're very active in church, you know. We see them here at St. Joseph Cathedral a lot. But we're gonna let them introduce themselves. So we can finally get to know them better this afternoon. We'll start with Nixon.
Hi, hello. I'm Nixon Parinas, and we enjoy our married for 28 years now.
Wow.
And we have 2 kids. They're both, one is in college and one is taking up medicine. And this is my wife, Joy.
I'm Joy.
They both
Yeah.
serve in church.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right?
I'm a lector with you. Shai.
Yes, yes.
And
Here in
Kaabag.
St. Joseph.
I'm a Nakaabag. Mga 3 years na. Nakaabag, bago lang.
Sabay kayo.
Ano,
No.
Ano? Who was
Oh,
first?
Because I was a lector when I was single
single pa.
Oh,
in
okay.
Manila,
Okay.
in our parish. And then, yan, Father Kiss, Father Randy encouraged me. But my limitation was yung Bisaya.
Oo.
Yes, yes,
So for
yes.
the longest time, I would stall
Ah.
until, God's calling.
And then how many years later did Nixon join?
Ah,
After how many years was she serving in church?
yeah. Ako, officially, dito sa St. Joseph, that was 3 years ago, yung Kaabag. But I've been exposed sa mga projects ni Father Kids sa Cathedral and then sa diocese.
I think Architect Nixon is known, especially here in Butuan, because
Yes.
he and Ma'am Joy have been designing, especially like CBE building, some of our churches, the clergy house in
Yeah,
the diocese.
clergy
So,
house.
I think many projects that is church-based and is connected with the church and the diocese.
Yeah. Kaya nga we're so familiar with your faces already. But for those that's why we're doing today's episode, because we really want to know more about you guys. For me personally, it's because we serve together and I'm just really inspired by you two. How did you two first meet and when? You said 28 years married, right?
Yes.
But then how long before? Like, what's the start of this love story?
Sige.
Ikilig daw si Maria Angelica.
Antayin mo, kikiligin ka
Dapat
pa.
magsubo na ni Karon, tanawa.
Sige. Started when we were in college, first year. We're in UST, taking up architecture.
We're classmates.
We're classmates. So
Wow.
I can still remember her attire when
Oh,
she arrived. Yeah.
no.
Nakatak-in yun, and then, with bangs pa yun, with bangs.
So ano, love at first sight?
Ayan. So, naalala ko siya. And then,
So
yun.
love at first sight, yan yun?
Sort of, kasi we're friends, barkada.
We're barkada.
we're
We're not just
barkada.
classmates.
We're not just classmates. Nasa group talaga namin.
Okay.
So, yun, and then, classmates, siya president, ako vice president. Kasi mas makuhan siya. Oo.
Wait, you were your president.
Yeah, siya president,
Okay,
ako
okay.
vice. And then, barkada kasi kami, so we always go together, ganun, mga gimmick and stuff, and studies also. Yun, tapos,
So barkada, when did you finally get the courage to
Parang-
ask her?
later na sa college life, kasi bawal sa amin into a relationship.
Okay.
Studies
Bawal
first.
sa family?
Yeah, study first.
Sa
Yeah,
family?
study
Both
first.
families?
Sa akin,
Sa'yo.
particularly. So, actually, pinaalam ko. Asan ba yung si tatay yata na? Pinaalam ko sa kanila if I can go on court. Mga third year
Third year.
college
Okay.
yun. Siyempre, hindi mo na kasi studies first and then. So, close na kami nun. Third year, gano'n. Tapos, officially would be after graduation. Parang gano'n. Na we're a couple na friends. And then, nag-work sa Manila. And then, matagal pa bago kami nagpakasal. That would be around 8 more years?
Yes.
8 more years, mga ganun.
Okay. It's just like a usual couple, di ba? You want to be stable first. You want to
Get your career
Yeah.
and muna in place, climb that
Yes.
corporate ladder. So you're both
Architects,
architects.
yeah.
But we didn't work in the same firm.
Okay.
So we were working separately. Like there was a time Nixon was working here in Butuan, ako sa Manila, because in our course you had to have apprenticeship also.
Okay.
So we both decided to work while studying, so that after graduation we can take the board exams immediately.
Okay. Balik tayo doon sa, in the first, the first, how many years in college? Kasi bawal kay Nixon, di ba? Were you aware that he had feelings for you already?
He did express.
He did express.
Actually, because we were friends, I did tell Nixon, there was like this, I forgot what year we were, that parang iba na yung tingin ko sa kanya. And then, because I knew na bawal, and then because I also wanted to focus on studies, I really prayed kay Mama Mary to remove the feeling.
Oh, wow.
So,
So you
yeah.
stayed as friends.
We stayed at
So finally, nung naligaw siya, what was that like for you? Like, finally, I mean, even for you, Nix, you were
Actually, konti lang
allowed,
yung transition kasi we're really close.
Yeah.
Barkada ka.
Parang nakuha na din, exclusive. They know na we're kaming, parang kuhan pa, MU. Parang ganun. Hindi naman, yun yung before. Pero yun, sa Barkada, they know na kami yung kuhan.
Yeah,
It's amazing siya, listening to them ba na, it took a very long time. Parang the relationship had to take root, di ba? And it started with a very good foundation of friendship. Di ba kasi, especially today na napakadali to get into a relationship, di ba? But for them, they had to go through the process of being friends. Tapos yun nga, parang may complications. It's amazing.
Getting to know each other first. With kunyari, the young ones are listening to us, would you recommend that friends first or get to know each other?
Yes.
Definitely.
Definitely. For the long haul.
Yung friends na yung kilala kasi yung iba add sa friend Facebook.
Iba yun.
Iba yun.
Friends kayong matagal na pala.
Nung panahon namin kasi, Father, walang ganyan, di ba?
wala.
Your friend is really your friend. Ngayon, hindi ngayon
Add
ganyan.
lang online friend na kayo.
Friend na kayo. Tapos pag nagkita kayo,
Oo.
hindi kayo magpapansinan kasi doon lang.
So naging kayo na. How did you got married? Now you moved to Butuan when? Like how long were you guys married? Before kayo nag-decide na, sige, Butuan na tayo. And bakit Butuan? Why not in Manila? You had a thriving career.
When, just like any couple, you plan, like, first year, we won't have children first. We'll work first, and then when we're
Adjustment.
financially ready, we will have children. So, after a year, we decided to have kids, pero wala naman. Then the second year came, wala pa rin. So, third year, that's when I got pregnant. And then, that's when we said that the lifestyle in Manila wasn't the kind of life we wanted for our children.
And what year is this?
2000,
2000, something.
so
Third year
90, we got married 1997. Lucas was born
So around
2000.
So,
Okay.
So that's 3 years, right? So we were contemplating on moving. And then, because we wanted to have 2 children, we still held on. Like, so I was working basically most days at home. And then Nixon also was working in a different company. And then when we thought we were ready to move here, I got pregnant again with Julia. So since I was high risk, I was 30 then.
Plus.
We decided I'll just give birth first. So before moving here, she was mga 10 months old. I also was determined to breastfeed my children. So it all was part of what we thought was our plan, but it's not. Yun, when we decided to come here, yun, our foremost concern was education. And then work. Siyempre, when we came here, we had no work.
Wala pang work. So I have to work sa maintenance lang nung sa
So parang
family.
you have to start again
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
from scratch. Kumbaga.
And
Yes.
doon lang kami nagsistay sa parents ko, sa house, sa main house. Yun.
And Nixon, like, we both gave up our careers there. Nixon was senior designer, I was partner, so it was a very big move. But we really wanted, to raise a family and be hands-on with them.
So what was like first 10 years? Talk to us about first 10 years of marriage. Like, ano yung mga memories that stood out?
It wasn't planned, because we came here with almost nothing. My concern was the education. That was also one of the things why we stalled moving here. So then one summer, we went to Manila, and then my sister-in-law said, there's a Kumon opening in Butuan, but they wouldn't open here because my niece was trained in Kumon. And Nixon said, when we have children, they're not going to have tutors because he grew up with tutors. And by high school, when he was studying in LaSalle,
I have a hard time coping because I don't know. My tutor, siya yung
Spoon-fed.
tumutulong ng assignments and stuff. So, nahirapan ako.
Parang major adjustment din yun.
Yeah.
So I saw my niece, how it trained her to be an independent learner. So I said, that's what I wanted. So I called up Kumon, and then they said, we can't open there if someone doesn't train with us. I'm not a teacher.
So yun
Although
nga,
now I'm known to be Teacher
Teacher Joy.
Joy.
Yun nga, yeah. I know
Yes.
Teacher Joy before Architect Joy.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but this is how much I wanted the program for my children, because eventually we were thinking they will leave us and probably study somewhere else. So we had to train them. And this is so even that alone, we didn't plan. That's how Kumon started. So, of course, my first year was very difficult. I couldn't speak or understand Bisaya.
Sa bahay lang.
Sa bahay lang,
As in,
actually, breastfeeding and taking care of the kids.
And
So it's
was-
depressing.
Go ahead.
What year did you start sa Kumon, Ma'am Joy?
A year after,
Okay, so
2006.
2006.
2006.
It's almost as long as we stayed here.
20 years na.
Oh, so
What was it?
sige, siya.
What was it like for you, Phoenix? Like bringing your wife to the place where you grew up. Kinilig ka ba? Were you worried? Were you excited to show her like dito ako nag-eskwela, dito ako bumimig?
Actually, pinag-usapan naman namin
Okay.
na when we come here. So, ang major adjustment would be yung kay Joy na part. Sa akin, wala talaga. And I know naman na hindi kami maubusan na ng food na kainin. Kasi gutumin. So,
Kasi I was breastfeeding my kids.
so eventually, I have to start my own practice dito sa Butuan. So, yun lang yung kaba ko na how to do it and So, eventually, meron naman ding kumuha sa akin and eventually, word of mouth, ganon. So, yun ang
His
exposure.
office used to be under the
Stairs
of
of
one of
ma-
the stores.
Yeah.
He just had a desk.
Desk lang. Dun
To
lang.
now.
Ako lang mag-isa.
Oo.
Noon yun sa video, di ba, magkasama na sila, yung office magkatapat lang eh.
What's that like? Like being together all the time?
It was, that was our plan talaga. Because ever since, even when we were classmates, we help each other, yung barkada. So, I think that's one of the things really also that helped us in marriage. So, working together. Even if eventually I was more involved in Kumon and not so much in the practice. we deliberately made it that our offices were either connected or right beside each other.
O, diba?
Magkapit-bahay. Magkasama sa bahay, magkapit-bahay sa trabaho.
So sometimes some of the
Sabay,
kids would go to his
my
office,
face, yeah.
nakaupo na dun sa computer, and they would be like,
Ang saya. It's so nice to see a couple that genuinely enjoy each other's company so much. Na
That-
magkapit-bahay mo talaga. But
That
it's
I
so
could
good.
say kasi parang kulang pa din yung time na magkasama ka.
Ay, Ate Joy!
Kinikilig. Dapat itong mga viewers dia, comment lang mo. Say couple
yeah,
goals
kasi
ninyo.
nung even when
So
we
nice
were
to hear,
friends,
oo.
we had a lot of things in common, and then we enjoyed each other's company. So parang the time wasn't always enough.
Yeah.
So
So
now you're
hanggang
making
ngayon-
up for lost time, parang gano'n. So who has a corner office? I'm curious.
She has the bigger one.
She has
Because I have a lot of
May-
she has a
kids.
corner office with a view. You have the perfect
Yeah.
setup.
Hindi, secret door lang papunta sa akin. Secret door.
Ah, diba?
I have a secret door from Kumon.
What was it like transitioning from like you, Joy? What was it like seeing Nixon transition to that the husband to father role?
Yung first, I will never forget the first time Nixon felt so inadequate when my child was born, si Lucas, our firstborn.
Firstborn.
Okay.
Because, syempre, first time mom, and then sa hospital, parang reality really set in because we were responsible for another human being. So definitely nothing prepares you for it. And we just went day by day, praying and being with each other because we help each other. I could depend on him a lot. Like I mentioned, I breastfed my children. So pagdating sa when they wake up, take a bath, siya na yun. And he would let me rest.
Wow.
So may teamwork.
Diaper.
na. Diaper, patulog. When they
Instinct ba yan, Kuya?
Sa akin parang that would be my
Natural.
role. Kasi siya yung nag-feed eh. Every hour yan, tapos it would really
Ayun na, yung mga
napapagod.
new
Oo.
husbands dyan. Take note.
So good, no? Pag they really, you complement each other. I think something I appreciate about married couples, kasi I am single forever.
Dapat.
Oh, dapat. Di ba? That's the role of marriage, na complementing each other. And
Yeah.
nothing will prepare you for that aside from life itself. Parang
Yes.
You do not take classes, as you said, Ma'am Joy, na you do not take lessons from that, but you learn as you go along. Diba? So, it's good. Architect Nixon is telling, parang, since my wife is doing this, I will.
Yeah.
It's very good. Parang hashtag couple goals talaga.
Yes, yes. And I think yung maganda dun, Nixon, is kasi minsan yung mga boys ngayon, they're afraid of marriage, di ba? But then, just like St. Joseph, I think what I'm seeing in yours is you're ready to just take on that role. It's not scary. Be of help and of service to your wife. And it's not scary to be married. It's a beautiful thing.
Yes, that's scary. Yeah.
It's exciting.
It's exciting.
Every day is different. Definitely.
Tsaka yung face din ng mga bata, iba nung maliit sila, iba yung schooling,
Ngayon.
iba yung adults na sila. Iba-iba yun. Walang handbook din yun.
Oo nga eh.
Walang kasamang handbook.
And what I really learned throughout it is how God knows each one of us. Because even though I studied architecture, worked as an architect, when I was small, I always wanted to work with kids, teacher.
Talaga.
Wow.
So,
Even your thesis, di ba?
yeah, even our thesis, my thesis, was a school of different abled children.
Talaga.
So, I couldn't have planned it
Anyway.
when I transferred here, di ba, I would have just worked on being an architect in Manila. And now, it's part of my life, my work. So, it doesn't have to be a choice na is career or married life or raising children. I think that's the most important thing in married life. So, for us, anyway, because we have kids. So,
So what I learned from, listening to that advice, that married life and career doesn't need to compete with each other.
yes.
Raising a family. Kasi, di ba, the mentality nga ngayon, di ba, na I have to be stable, I have to hit my career first. Yun, may mga memes sa Facebook nga, na parang picture, tapos sabi nung nanay na around 80 years old na siya, matanda na siya. Now, I'm stable, pwede na akong mag-anak. Even, married, kasi, we wait for the perfect time, but the perfect time happens when we take the risk, di ba? Take the leap.
Tama,
God's time.
Father.
God's
Eh,
time.
kaya nga plina namin 2 children lang. Because nga, finances, ganyan, how are we gonna be supporting 2 kids? But then when we realize, oh, kaya naman pala eh.
Sayang, too late na.
Sayang, mas
It's too
madami
late
pa.
na.
But then,
Mm.
God gave us so many kids in Kumon.
Oh,
Like
Yes,
hundreds
that's
of
true.
kids.
And
So,
you see them also,
Yes.
grow up, be
Every
independent.
day.
Oo nga.
Ganda
So,
no?
The joy of being an educator, teacher for them.
So, I wanna go back to what you just said na since women nga now are afraid, would you say there's around a certain age na you can start thinking about marriage, especially for the women? Kasi nga, now, women are getting married in their 30s, no, hindi nanganganak, mga 35 na. What would you say to the 20s who are thinking about it pero medyo on the fence?
of course, for me, I didn't have an age. Although, syempre, we have our biological clock ticking. I only remember my mom telling me na if you decide to get married, look or pray for someone who is God-fearing. So it wasn't like I will go out and then try to meet
Meet as many men
as
as
many
Yeah.
men, and then I will choose because I'm of age already. I can get married.
Wait, so you prayed for a God-fearing man.
Yes.
Was there anything else in that list that you prayed for? Or yun lang? Yun yung top
Yun
mo?
lang.
Wala
Because,
yung gwapo.
and then when I, syempre meron kunyari ideal man. But yun yung what
Number one.
what attracted me also. He's very smart. He went to mass every day. Nung estudyante
college.
kami in
Wow.
college. So then he introduced me to the grace that you get in going to mass every day. Kasi kami, every Sunday lang.
Sunday lang.
Oh, yes, correct.
Oh.
Kami, nung maliit kami,
So
every
you
day.
grew up
Yung sa mom ko din, yun yung rosary every day. Tapos, kung magsimba pwede.
Wow.
Every day.
Paano mo ginawa yun next na you were in school, hindi naman makikita ng mom mo na nagsisimba ka every
Hindi,
day?
doon yung kapatid ko.
may
Tatawagan niya yung mom ko. Hindi. Yung sisters ko, kasi kami lahat.
Okay.
So, yung rosary kami. Tapos, we go to church also, 6 p.m. Usually, tapos na yung classes namin.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, sabay kayo nag-church
Sabay din kami
nun.
nag-church.
Pero kasi sabi ni Joy, ikaw yung nagturo nung the grace that comes with
kasi-
attending mass. So, meaning it was true to a certain point in your life. Hindi lang dahil isusumbong ka ni ate. Right?
Oo. Kasi I really find it na very sa akin. Kailangan ko in my daily life. Parang ganun. Kasi malayo sa family, sa parents. Andun yung family ko, pero yung parents malayo. Siyempre, you always miss them. Lalo na pag bumisita sila. Yeah.
So I remember lang ba yung sinabi ni Ma'am Joy kanina na she prayed for a God-fearing man. How to find the one, parang di na kailangan you look for many people, but you pray. Kasi
Yes.
I remember Saint Joseph, is the patron saint of those women who are looking for husbands. And not just any kind of husband, yung husband na matino, yung God-fearing, di ba? So, mga viewers nato diha, gusto makita the one, ambok ang San Jose. So, magmisa ta karong alas 6, makita ka dito.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that's a
Definitely.
part of a tradition of the church na if you want to find a good husband, pray to Saint Joseph.
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 He never fails.
He never fails. And I can share this real quick in my experience. I wasn't religious in any way, shape, or form. My mother was. And then when I was working na for Philippine Airlines at that time, nung nagde-deplane yung mga pasahero, there was a nun on her way towards the door, and I just blurted out, "Sister, pray for me," without really thinking what that meant. Parang to me, yeah, I come from a Catholic family. And you know what she said? She held my hand, looked in my eyes, and said, "Pray to Saint Joseph for a good husband." And I kid you not, I did that night. Kasi gumanon pa kay sister, "Husband ka!" God says. I was 21 at that time, but I came home that night thinking, you know what, let me go ahead and do that. And true enough. So I will say that to the youth as well. Pray to Saint Joseph for a good husband.
And we got married in Sanctuario de San Jose.
which they remembered before this interview. No, they
Only
mentioned
now.
it in that. Only today did they remember they were married in Santuario de San Jose, and today we're doing Tuesdays with San Jose. They serve in the Tuesday Mass at 6 p.m. You cannot make this stuff up.
Lagi,
Si God lang talaga.
God is writing, sabi ni Ma'am Joy, di ba, na Architect Nixon, na the things that we plan sometimes doesn't happen, but God has a way of writing our stories, love stories, according to His plan. And His plan is the perfect for us, di ba? So,
Oh, yes.
that's what I hear. So I think we'll listen more to that story, Santuario de San Jose, after this Catholic trivia time. So now, let's look for our Catholic trivia. Did you know that according to the World Population Review, there are only 10 countries in the world that have less than 1,000 Catholics? So we have Greenland, the Maldives, and Somalia. And you know, the other part of the list, Vatican City, with only 842 Catholics.
Wow.
But then, that's 100%. So that's our Catholic trivia for today.
Nice to know. And it goes to show how strong the Catholic is. And we were talking about this earlier na, yun nga, worldwide, there is a rise in the number of the youth joining the Catholic Church. And I think it just goes to show how we want to be rooted in something that's stable, something that's been there for a long time. Diba? So, getting back to our guests this afternoon, do you think being Catholic has helped your marriage?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah? Sige,
Yes.
feel free to expound.
I remember in one of the weddings that Father John officiated, we love weddings. It gives us a chance to
Renew.
and recall, reminisce. Oh, we were like that before.
Bisa dagan na mga invite magninang.
Ayaw, ma-attend lang mi.
And he said in his homily that when you get married, now God puts Himself in your marriage. So it's not by our choice or power that God is in our marriage, but God makes Himself present. So as you go year after year in getting married, it becomes more real for us that there is a God, a greater power, because definitely the challenges of married life, raising children, especially now that they're young adults and they're not with us anymore. It's all God's design. We just need to be open, and that's why we pray a lot. Go to Mass every day. Because
wala
there's
sila
no
dito.
more control over there.
Yeah, di ba, your children are studying
Manila.
Manila. So, napakalay, Manila and Butuan. So, how do you make that arrangement do with this Which was whole set up.
Yeah,
kumbaga.
definitely, it's pure faith
Yeah.
that, yeah, they're really not ours. And God has a beautiful plan for them. Otherwise, we'd stay awake at night and wondering, di ba, what they're doing or who their friends are. Even if you raise them well, the environment. So we'll go crazy. That's why, yeah, it has strengthened our faith. Also, some think that parenting is a relationship between your child and you, but it also deepens our relationship because we have to work together. So,
Hindi isa lang.
Oo. Na, speaking of working together, who's the disciplinarian among the two of you?
Siya. Kami chill lang kami.
Surprise!
Chill lang kami ng mga bata.
Surprise
Joy's
eh,
like
no?
super gentle. So how are you, like I'm no Joy as this very gentle.
I think we all know Ma'am Joy, di ba?
soft-spoken.
Soft-spoken,
How do
very
you
gentle.
discipline your kids?
And the husband. Kasama ako doon si discipline the husband.
First one.
hindi rin
Firstborn.
siya planned,
Okay.
Shyla. It just fell into place that ganyan yung role ni Nixon. He's very playful, makulit. Yun, me, OC. So, packing away the toys, cleaning up, doing chores, yan. So, I guess they associate discipline with me until the point na we overheard them talking to each other na kasi they're not living with us now, di ba? Na even when they make a decision sa school or sa dorm ngayon, I can hear mommy's voice. Oh, clean the toilet. Oh, pick up your clothes.
Clean the toilet. Talaga, ikaw yung naririnig. And I think this is so true about mothers, or about, yeah, when we transition into the role of the mother, we don't realize that we do hear the voice of our mothers, and that's a good thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
I still hear the voice of my mother.
Handog garon.
And I bet, do you think na you get through to them sometimes? Or
Oh,
you
definitely before when they were small. It's like a black wall na they won't, are they listening to me? You keep repeating the same things, di ba? Pick up your
But now
toys.
hearing
Come
that,
on.
ibig sabihin, it got through them pala.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you overheard that? Was it like, yes?
I felt at peace.
Sumakses na.
Success talaga.
All that hard work.
Sabi ko kay Nixon, nakikinig pala sila, no? They heard us pala.
Even sa food nila. They choose their own food na healthy.
Kasi nga, the two of you are very
Dahil sa kanya.
healthy. Sa
siya-
eating yan.
sa eating.
Sa eating habits.
Kaya,
Actually, hindi rin siya. It was part of our plan. All we wanted was the desire to be hands-on. And Butuan enabled us
Yeah.
to raise the family in an environment that we thought would be good to raise children in. Because like si Nixon would bring the children lunch.
to
I
school
would
first.
cook.
To
He
school
would
first
bring
in the
kahit like there's a family driver, ganon. He would really make it a point to bring the children and pick them up. So kahit may meeting siya, basta ganitong oras,
Alis
I
na
have to
ako.
go. Oh,
Kasi maghahatid pa ng pagkain sa inyo.
yes.
Yun yung napag-usapan namin before pa na we really have to give time sa mga bata. Kahit merong unless nasa Manila kami.
Oo.
Pero yung kami talaga, we bring them to school and we go there lunchtime. Si Joy cooks the food. May baon yun. Either kung favorite nila yung food, they will eat in the car. Kasi hingin ng classmates eh. So,
Oh my gosh.
pag medyo sa loob na lang siya nakain. For sharing.
Oreos both later.
Yes, they both
Dito.
studied in Oreos.
So, very accessible.
Also,
di ba?
the choice of school was deliberate.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, because earlier you mentioned that you were worried about the education, like that was top of
Education.
mind.
Yes.
So, it's good to know that you did find a school.
Yes, because we wanted a Catholic school. Even if they're supported at home, it's different also if they go. Because yung former school nila, like they would celebrate Halloween or yun. So parang we said, it's time na we transfer them. Yun.
And this is in FSUU, so
Yeah,
shout
FSUU.
out.
Shout out.
Mga taga-FSUU dyan.
Shout
o,
out sa
diba?
atong next guest po na
Oh,
FSUU.
yes, correct. And it's nice because I think people normally think that when they move to the province, they will lack these many things. But I think what you both pointed out is no, there's actually quality of life here kasi nahatid sa school.
Yes.
We
nadalhan
spend
na-
time with each other.
So our foremost concern, God took care of it.
Yeah.
So even actually when my eldest son Lucas passed the Philippine Science test, we had a lot of help actually, like advisors and friends. But Father John told us, we sought advice and decided na to stay sa FSUU,
Oh,
to be
to think compared to yun nga, Philippine science,
Oh.
normally other parents would jump at the opportunity.
and then their training in Kumon for the math and reading parang took care of the academic skills. So it wasn't just like raising children who are smart or intelligent.
Yes.
For us, very important yung
Did
Catholic
they
faith.
pick up on that, yung how you both are very, yun nga, go to church all the time. Like, ikaw, Nix, you went to church every day because of your parents. Ano yung attributes?
And they serve both at the church pa.
How do they look at that? How do your kids look at that?
Ayan, there's a different expression. Definitely, that we're trying to understand. Because there's really there's a generation gap. And it's hard. It's hard, but we have to listen. We have to listen to them. And have faith and pray that, yeah, God will meet them where they are. In a language that they can understand. Because we recognize our limitation as parents talaga. So, we're happy that it's not just the two of us in this
Damay-damay na eh.
marriage.
Dapat
Kasama
si
si
God.
Lord.
Dapat si God yung mag-
Especially, siya yung nag-design sa kanila. He's His. They're His.
Ikaw naman, pasimuno nito, Lord. So,
Yeah.
huwag mo kami iwanan. Yan, yung sabi nga namin in the church, iba nga.
Oh,
Sa kanya naman to eh. So, we do the work but help us, Lord.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yung siguro, going to Mass, praying, enables us to listen. Because, di ba, ang dami naman sa social media. Parenting tips,
Oo.
Yes, yes.
how to effectively communicate with your children. Not naman discounting things, but sometimes it's too noisy.
Oh, yeah, yeah. But listening to both of you, next, I'll ask you first. What advice could you give to the young men? Or, no, what do you love most about being married?
Sandali.
Top 3 things
Yeah.
about being married. Kasi yung iba takot eh.
Oo.
Right? To get
Oh,
married.
Actually, you have your wife with you all the time. Yun eh. It's not, hindi na lang ikaw mag-isa.
Oh.
You have your partner na. Tapos you have your kids. And kayong dalawa to take care of the kids and guide them. Which is, we always say, hindi atin yun. They're not ours. So, yun yung sa akin. That's my
Na huwag sila matakot.
Huwag silang matakot
Kasi yun
kasi
nga, tama. Magkakaroon ka
Oo.
ng
partner.
Partner.
Hindi,
Life.
imbis na ikaw lang.
You and I against the world.
Help
Or
me.
you and I with the world. di ba?
Yes, diba? Oo.
But yeah, it's a very good one. I think listening to them, ba, na, our children are not ours. You know, there's a very deep spiritual insight na recalls me of this poet na si Khalil Gibran, diba? Your children are not yours. He has this very
They go through you,
trust.
but they're not.
Yeah, yun. Memorize mo. Ang ganda nun eh.
Ano mo, sige, share it.
But only because we went through the same, and we realized it's very humbling. Actually, even as a mother, Nixon always reminds me, especially when it's time for them to leave after vacation, na parang ang saya nila to leave.
Yeah.
Tapos sabi niya, oh, ayaw mo yun. At least, di ba, you didn't raise them na I cannot live without hanging on to my mom.
Yeah.
So
They
sabi
have
ko,
things to do
okay.
pa. In Manila, they have responsibilities. They have...
Oo, sila yung nagsischedule, sila yung, I have to here because I have to prepare my ganon. So, okay.
So that's very good. Kasi ngayon di ba, parang the dynamics is two extremes. Sometimes too attached, and then the other is unaffected. Parang hindi naman attached, di ba? So,
Walang pakialam.
oo. Striking the healthy
That
balance.
balance.
So, that's good advice for
Pero
parents.
mahirap. Yung balance na yun.
Oo.
Especially now that they're young adults.
Yeah.
Lucas is turning 25 this year, and Julia 21. So, hindi lang teenager yan, di ba? Young adults. Parang si Father.
Kaya si father lang yun.
I had lang ko ng few years.
Few years, yeah.
Years.
But-
Parang anak na kita.
Yun nga, Ma'am Joy. How about Ma'am Joy? What's your you question ni Shaila, what's the beauty of being married? What's the good thing about married life?
Being supported 100%. It's you feel that God's love is in a person you can touch. Yeah, and He helps you. Hindi lang yung in concept. Diba?
In reality.
In reality,
Hirap.
because we're constantly working together, even if different yung career or work, we still support each other, and we know that we have each other's back. Like, for example, if one has to travel, especially now, because parang full circle na we're taking care of my parents at home. So even if we're empty nesters, we now have our parents to take care of. And sometimes I have to leave. So in-laws na yun. And then,
Pabayaan ko lang.
Nixon.
Joke lang.
Oo, pinapabayaan ka lang naman sila kapag
So, it's the kind of support that you can feel and see every day. So, I'm glad that there is such a sacrament. No, he has no choice but to support me because we signed the contract
And it's bound
Yeah.
and it's bound.
by God.
But Ma'am Joy, listening to that, kasi sabi mo na, di ba, your parents are here na and then you're taking care of them. I remember kasi my parents, my grandparents also had during the later years of their life. And then my mother would always say, we take care of our elders, di ba? And then she tells that by the very example that she did. So that's very powerful for us children, di ba? Na,
To witness.
witnessing because, di ba, we are caring for each other. The next generation will care for us. Beauty of married life, family life. Us taking care of each other. Diba? So,
Ang hirap, Father, because they're not my children,
Right.
di ba? They're my parents. So the dynamics is really different. Also,
What a great thing that, yun nga, both of you nagtutulungan.
yeah, it's
That's
a different
Yeah.
kind of rin,
Mahirap nga daw magpalaki
navigation.
ng magulang. Diba? But I think the beauty of it is like what Father said is your children are seeing this and maybe later on in life they give back. That is our hope, no? That is not a promise that they will also take care of you. But I think leading by example shows them that, yun nga, it really takes a village and you all have to take care of each
of
other.
each other.
No.
full circle moment. Nga.
And we feel it's also a privilege and grace given to us. that will, akala namin, because like, we're married more than 25 years, so 28 na. We have nothing to learn pa na, di ba? Done that, been through that. But now, this situation at home, kids away from us, taking care of elderly, we're learning a lot. Definitely. Still learning.
Yeah, still learning.
Still learning.
What's the most beautiful thing that you discovered about your wife in the last, siguro let's say 5 years? Like something new that you learned about Joy, would you look at her, I appreciate that about her?
Ngayon kasi yung, in the last 5 years, nasa kuha na kami niyan yung I really enjoy yung presence niya. Yung, alam mo yung kampante ka, you
Andun
feel
siya.
at peace. Ganun. Oo. Hindi siya, it's not something na particular na kwan. Just being around her. Yun. We'll be, sabi nga namin, we have to grow old together. Tapos, staying healthy.
Yeah.
Oh, yan, para we can
You can be
yeah,
together longer.
yeah, that's our goal.
Pang ganda i-cue in ang music, grow old with you. Cue in, pasok.
Kasi baka may mauna. Diba? Oo.
Palagi namin sinasabi, huwag
Huwag ka mauna, bawal. Sabay dapat.
And I think that will be one of the hardest things we will go through sa married life now. First, I think seeing our parents go. And then next is, yun nga, seeing the other go. Si Kuya Nix, parang naiiyak. Ang ganda ng mga sinasabi mo. I think,
Very, very heartwarming lesson,
Yes,
di ba?
yung
But
episode.
baka may mga question yung guest natin, so idol couple daw.
Sabi ni Carla
Carla.
Pamela Jean.
Father Kids.
Father Kids, all the way from CDO. Thank you for telling your inspiring faith life story.
So, pwede na 30 years na po niya nailapad sa episode.
Definitely.
30 years din St.
We will
Joseph.
ask them. First, we will attend the wedding, and the
30 years, yeah. Dito na
Like
siguro
dancing.
yan para celebration.
It will fall on a
Major na.
Tuesday.
Yeah, tama.
Ayun na naman, nagpaplano naman tayo, Carla.
Tapos si Lord, sige lang, si Lord naman
Si Lord,
yung mag...
i-rewrite na yun ni Lord eh.
But I think what I liked hearing today is this is just one couple that God has blessed in their marriage. And I think when we look at your life, the lives of our friends who are married happily, no, you can really see that it's not unique. Love is not unique. So to the youth who are thinking na parang, ay hindi, pang time nyo lang yan, yung mga love life, hindi. Parang God is so gracious in giving love to everybody that this story, although unique in its own way, is also not unique in a sense that when God loves the right story, magugulat na lang kayo. Right? So hopefully na-inspire kayo, guys. I know I have been, and I hope it gives you hope. If you're a young lady watching us, be inspired and pray to Saint Joseph because he is gonna lead you to the one God has meant for you.
Amen. Diba? So, I remember lang, diba, why is the church so protective of marriage?
Yeah.
Why is the church so particular with couples? Because, and I say that every marriage mass I celebrate na, the love of married couples is the mirror of God's love for us. Parang how God takes care of us is expressed concretely in that
marriage.
commitment you have with each other in marriage. So,
Yeah.
thank you for showing that to us,
Yeah.
especially to our guests. Diba?
Yes.
Beautiful to be married. For those who want to be married, for those who want to be priest,
Iba yun.
Ay, nako. So, ayan. I hope you guys were inspired. Lots to learn from them. So, siguro after this, you guys can, watch the episode and relearn from these two.
So, na may question lain, pwede ba rin nyo i-PM? PM nga. So, ang pagpakasal mo ba sa legal age na niya? Kana na pong, nakaplastar na po.
Pero huwag niyong antayin yung may bahay na may kotse
Oo.
na lahat-lahat.
Oh, yes. Initially, di ba, that's our goal.
Yes. But here we are saying na, yun nga.
God's providence at work.
Yes. And you can trust in that na to lead you to the church as well. So, ayan. Key takeaway for you, Father.
Yun, vocation is very beautiful. I mean, all these forms of life that we take, listening to this happily married couple, and then listening to your stories also with Jimbo, I think I'm also happy to become a single priest. I think this is the love that we try to live, di ba? So, we are happy where God puts us. And where God puts us is the place where we will flourish. Di ba? So, kasi gusto naman ni Lord, di ba, that we have the fullness of life.
Yes.
We have the gift, especially with our couple. So how about you, Shai?
I think I said it earlier. na yun nga, the marriage is a beautiful thing. Do not be scared. We have so much proof around us that this unit, that the family unit is a beautiful thing. And if we can, if you're a young couple thinking about it, we would say pray about it. And who knows, it could lead you to this beautiful sacrament of marriage.
Amen.
Amen. So, ayan, we've done our, what did we learn from this lovely couple today? I wanna talk about also yung mga activities that we're doing in church, Father.
Our activities. So again, we invite you to join us, our Salo-Salo sa Kanto, every Saturday, 6 a.m. So, I think, marami na. Every Saturday, many people go there, and then many groups sponsor. So, for those who would like, it takes 3,200 to feed 200 people. So, dami. And we join. I think everyone is invited so long as may pagkain pa doon, diba? So, ato ta, mga on, we share.
Chika.
Salo-salo,
diba?
chika, yeah. So, after Mass, you go to second Mass, and then may salo-salo sa kanto.
May salo-salo sa kanto. Yes, and also every fourth Saturday, right? We have the Riverbank Cleanup Drive. Padami na rin ang padami yung sumasali natin. But that doesn't mean you guys aren't welcome. So please feel free to join us. We have the masses first, and then there's an assembly at 6 a.m. And then may Zumba.
May pa-Zumba pa yan sila, diba? Then, very youthful energy talaga. So, for those young and young at heart, I'm sure this is for you. You will enjoy that.
So join us there. And of course, Sunday feed with the street kids.
So this is the longest program of the Cathedral, perhaps longer than the Riverbank and the Salo-Salo. So every Sunday we feed street kids in partnership with FSU Youth. So at the CBS building south, doon at the gate area. So the kids are there. If you like to donate, then you're also free to give whatever you'd like to share for our street kids. And we also invite you to our Tuesday devotional mass every 6 p.m. on Tuesday. So, kita ninyo ni si Ma'am Joy and si Architect Nixon. They go together. Mga couple goes, diba, serving the Lord. So, sana all. Diba?
I want to see them. Yes.
We'd like to thank also our sponsors for this afternoon. So, Kimson Commercial.
Thank
you,
to
Ate Bernadette.
sisters.
So,
Yes.
thank you for your support. And for those who would like to sponsor our show, you are very much welcome. You can plug your group or
Your
like
company
the
or your organization. No? So for next week, do watch out for we have a new episode. We're going to be talking to the students of Urios who are in the basic education course.
So it's Urios time. So I think we touched earlier, diba, what makes Catholic formation unique and special. I think we need that today. So let's listen from the testimonies of students from FSUU.
Next week. So, ayan, catch us also on our Facebook and YouTube pages. It's FSUU, and both on YouTube and on Facebook.
And we also expanded na siya. So, Cathedral, we have Instagram and TikTok. So, those who would like TikTok and Instagram, so nanapunta dito Cathedral and Roman Catholic Diocese of Butuan.
If you want to know ano yung mga ganap, nandun tayo.
So, we are updated.
Yeah.
So, the late Pope Francis, said this very inspiring message to young people, and I think for all of us before he died. He said, marriage is a journey of a lifetime. And this afternoon, we have listened to the stories of our couple who showed us how this journey is a journey of faith, a journey with each other, and most especially, a journey with God. And so, we can only hope for the best #couple goals that we have to be centered on God. And that's our Tuesdays with San Jose. See you next Tuesday. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.